Alright, what is up everybody? I'm on the way home from the airport. What a nice night it was in Phoenix at the US Airways Arena, home of the Phoenix Suns. All in all, that is a pay-per-view that I am 100% glad that I went out on a limb and bought tickets to. Like I've said a million times, the second The Rock said he was getting that title shot at the Royal Rumble back in July, I knew there was no way they were going to announce it that early that he was getting this shot and having this big of a match, no matter who it was going to be against. I think at that time Punk was the champion, but I don't think a lot of people thought that he was going to be the champion come then. But I thought there was no way in the world that they would let him not win the title and have that finishing exclamation point on his career. It was an awesome night. Pre-show match was very, very good. Antonio Cesaro against The Miz. Cesaro was able to pick up the win. Miz didn't look like too much of a dork. There was a good point of the match when I thought he was going to get no offense in at all and just get destroyed. But he got his stuff in, and it became a good match. Those two guys got a lot to offer. I wasn't a big fan of that matchup, but at least they were giving The Miz that was something. And later on in the Rumble, I thought it was really old school stuff that Cesaro got eliminated and Miz was coming down, and they actually had like a scuffle in the aisle. I thought that was something that I hadn't seen in a really, really long time, where sometimes you see some guys that have a feud or either just had a feud and it just sort of like dissolved, and you see them in the Rumble and they're acting like it's no big deal that they're standing next to each other. And these guys make it really feel like these guys hate each other that much they're not even going to share an aisle for an entrance and an exit. From there we went to Del Rio beating the Big Show in a very, very good match. But the whole spot with those lights, I had no idea what the hell those were. I thought they were really like the CZW light tubes. And the first time, Big Show threw Del Rio into him, I really thought it was going to be like a glass shattering effect. And I was very surprised they did that, but it seemed like Del Rio just sort of bounced off them. So I didn't know what the hell they were. I thought I saw light coming out of them. But then after that, Big Show and Del Rio both got on top of there. Del Rio did the table spot off of there. That was something I never thought I would see out of those two dudes. Once they got up there, I knew it was Del Rio that was coming down the hard way. There was no way Big Show was going to take a flop like that. But that was very, very cool. A very, very good match. I thought the finish was a little weak with Ricardo tying him up in the ropes using the tape. Reminding me of the spot they did with Cena and Batista a few years back. It's sort of like almost admitting you can't beat the guy. I guess it's inside the rules that they did it, but where they go from here, I have no clue. Hopefully Big Show will get another title shot. I don't know where you go from a last man standing match to try to make it fair, but we'll see. We'll see. Booker T will have something up his sleeve. From there, we went to the tag match. I thought it was a crying shame that they didn't put the titles on the Rhodes Scholars. I thought that was the perfect time to break them up. Not break up the Rhodes Scholars, but break up Kane and Daniel Bryan. I think they've done everything they can do, and I think having those two guys in that spot is holding down the tag division. I know if you put the tag titles on heels, a lot of the tag teams that they have, like the Primetime Players and others, are heels. So it'd be a hard spot for some guys to get in. But I want to see the Primetime Players and that rape whistle get back into the thick of things. And, I think those guys are over. And I think that they deserve a title shot. Any other, I don't know. Sometimes WWE has real tag champions that they have on their roster, and they never want to move the belts over. I remember a couple of years ago when they were rebuilding them, they had Cade and Murdoch hold the title for a long time. They had teams like the freaking Scottish guys that wore the kilts. Then they had Crime Time, and they had a few countless. I just thought of their name and I forgot it. And neither of those guys ever got to have the titles on them, which was sort of a crying shame. From there, we went right into the Rumble. Rumble surprises. Chris Jericho really blew the roof off of things. I mean, that's something that really snuck in under the radar. Godfather was a surprise guy. Goldust got a surprise. He even said on Twitter that was the largest pop that he'd ever received. I thought it was pretty cool. Goldust was a surprise mystery entrant in 2002, my last Rumble, and then 11 years later, he's doing the entrance again. Seems like all the rumor people that were supposed to be there, Carlito, Shelton Benjamin, Chris Masters, and somebody else, Hurricane Helms. All the rumored guys that everybody in the dirt sheet says was a slam dunk lock. It just didn't pan out. You hear things all the time when you're leaving shows. One guy said that they decided not to use them because it was so widely known that they were using them, which is sometimes doesn't really make sense. But when Freaking 88 Miguel was picking me up at the airport, Chris Masters was leaving Phoenix on a flight to go home, and I thought that was funny that he was able to break the news that Masters wasn't going to be in the Rumble. Bo Derek, the guy from NXT who won the spot to get in there, this is sort of like, I guess, his stepping stool to get up on the roster. A lot of the guys that they bring up, Big E Langston gets put right with Dolph Ziggler in association with the main event. The Shield is right there in the main event as well. They have the awesome match at TLC. A lot of the guys that come off of NXT that are getting brought up really have a real role on there. And honestly, I was thinking, like, what's this guy gonna do? He's gonna get in the Rumble, and then he's gonna go to Raw or SmackDown, and anything from here is gonna be a letdown. Like, they're pretty much setting this guy up to fail. I was honestly really happy that they didn't use Chris Hero, Cassius Ohno, in that spot, which I was really scratching my head on why they wouldn't. As far as I know, that's the best guy they have at NXT that I'm looking forward to making the jump to the big roster. But it seems like they started a real thing with Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett got mad, much like when Maven dropped out Undertaker in 2002. Yeah, Wade Barrett isn't Undertaker, but I mean, he is the Intercontinental Champion, so at least we'll have him treating him with respect. I rather much would have had him run in there and just get the Bob Holly treatment and just everybody beat the crap out of him, or the Muhammad Hassan treatment, either way. But that would have been really cool to me. Sin Cara was a real surprise at 29. I thought he was injured and he wasn't coming back. I hadn't heard anything from Mysterio. He hadn't been used on shows in a good while. His attire, I don't know what the hell he was wearing. He's wearing a new top to his thing, but at least it's not one of the ones that covers his whole torso, I guess you can say. I always thought those looked sort of weird on him. That's the last thing I saw him wearing for the last good while. So, I mean, at least he's not wearing that, but what he's wearing now, it makes him look pretty weird. Just go back to wearing normal, they're not tights, but, like the pants. Just go back to wearing pants and nothing on your top, I guess. Anything else out of the Rumble? I was real surprised when you got down to the end and your final 5 guys was 4 faces and 1 heel, the heel being Ziggler, and Ziggler was bounced out in the final 4. He was the 4th guy out. Most of the time you see more heels in the end than faces, much like when Legacy was in there and it was 3-on-1. And a lot of other times you get like 2-on-2s where the heels, and it almost becomes like a tag match in the ring for a couple minutes. But once it got down to Cena versus good old Goldberg, Ryback, you knew it was on. And the way that Cena dumped Ryback, I guess there's no real way to really dump the guy out to make it look spectacularly great. But it looked a little weird to me, but I'm sure it looked better on TV. My angle was a little bit off of what I thought it was going to be, but I had a lot of good fun at the show. From there, we went to the big money main event. No Divas title, which guarantees an extra star on the star rating in my book. But no Divas match. We go right to the main event. The whole thing felt like it was a real big ordeal. The arena there in Phoenix honestly felt 50-50. When Rock won, there was a big, yeah, he won the title. But there was also a big letdown to CM Punk fans. The people that were behind me, they were pissed. Not like SummerSlam where I saw the grandma that was so sad that Triple H lost. But yeah, they were very, very upset. I never heard where they came from, but they were really upset. If you've seen the video of the fat kid crying about CM Punk losing and throwing his belt, they made 2 videos. The first video looks like it's pretty authentic. I think they were watching their view count climb as the video got popular, and they made a second one. That's my honest opinion of what happened, but I don't think the second one is real. That's just me. But hey, it's all fun and entertaining on YouTube, you know. But I am stuck in traffic in Sacramento. This is my view. So I have to be at work at 11, and right now it is 9:16. If it was perfect traffic, I'd be home in 15 minutes. So I sort of think that this means I'm fucked. But we'll figure it out. I'll get there when I get there, and this is my real review. Some people got a little bit upset at my other one. I just wanted to get something up from the parking lot with me, Mario, and Miguel. But thanks, guys. Have a good one. Peace out.